So this is just going to be a typical route, but the sun is going down. It's about 8 o'clock, 8:15, maybe even 8:30, I don't know. It's one of my schedule days where I have to do my routine, so had to go to the bookstore and write for 20 minutes, which is huge to do. Sometimes I just write like diary type stuff. Other times goals or plans, or sometimes just gibberish. I find that writing just free is a great way to be creative. It's almost like you're channeling sometimes. You ever see those psychic writers that just kind of put their hand to the page and let it go, and next thing you know, they're writing messages from beyond. So, I don't know, over the years I've believed more and more in that kind of idea. Things just flowing through you, you know? Whether it's you tapping into the things or them tapping into you, I hope it's not, but you know, since I was a kid watching The Exorcist, I always freaked out about the idea of some kind of entity like hijacking your soul for a while, or at least your body. And then your soul's stuck in there like, hey dude, what the hell? I had a dream once where I was possessed and I was sitting in a wheelchair, and it was really sad because my family walked by on the other end of the hallway because they were like afraid to come visit me because I probably look like the Exorcist, you know? And I couldn't communicate to them that I was still in there looking out. At the same time, I wasn't in control of what I looked like or what I said or what I, you know, did or whatever. And that was like such a sad feeling to see the looks on their faces. So yeah, that freaked me out too. But I think part of growing up, for me at least, is to get over all those fears and figure them out. Find out why they exist. What I'd love to know though is if we're born with a whole bunch of, you know, bullshit, like already putting us behind the 8 ball, even before we've lived our life experience. Whoa. It's always sad when you see memorials set up around a railroad track. Really slaps you in the face, you know? Especially a railroad track that says, yeah, there's no horns at this crossing, so watch yourself. You know? Okay, there's something really peaceful about not only this neighborhood, but this time of night or day, and the weather being pretty warm. And it's like everybody had their fun or they did their work for the day. Just as I say that, somebody's outside working. But they're ready to go inside and, I don't know, watch Matlock and go to bed. Another funny thing that happens, it seems like when you get older, is you start to look at RVs a lot differently. Smelled like a campfire back there. When I was a kid, I'd see an RV and be like, oh, gross. That's what it smelled like, charcoal. Never mind. Good old whatever that charcoal is called. Everybody had the same charcoal for a long time. I still remember the guy on the bag, but I can't remember the name of the charcoal. Something with a B, maybe? But then you get older, and look, that RV up there looks badass to me. I think it's because when you get older, you want to escape a little bit more. As a kid, you can escape into just riding your bike or watching cartoons or something, playing video games. But when you're an adult, escaping changes to drinking or drugs or, you know, other forms of entertainment. but also getting in a frickin' RV saying screw you to the grid, you know? And I have a feeling I'm going to get into some weird RV phase where I don't know if I'm going to buy one, but maybe I can rent one. That's a nice one. Because I like the feeling of being prepared. So if I had my RV all decked out, all the water's ready to go, the toilet thing is whatever, cleared out, I'll have to learn all the lingo. And maybe the propane tanks are full? Is that what they use? I remember my dad going to the gas station, I think, and getting a propane tank, and I thought it was the weirdest thing. Like, wait, you just gave him our tank and you grabbed somebody else's. It's like, no, that's how you do it. You like exchange, you know? And then that time we went, we had a stove that worked. So my dad would like make breakfast. We woke up to him frying toast in a pan. I thought it was so strange. But it was so good because we were starving. We're out in the middle of somewhere weird. There's bugs and birds chirping everywhere. My dad's cooking toast on a pan. And you kind of burn it a little bit, which makes it even better. And then with the butter on it, I don't know why, but it tasted like there was Velveeta cheese on it. But there wasn't, so. That was incredible. I'll never forget that. But then you gotta walk out of the trailer. We just had a pop-up tent trailer. And then you're, just swallowed a gnat. And then you're in the woods, you know? Or a campground. The only time I really loved that was when we went to Jellystone, which is part of, I believe, Wisconsin Dells. And there was a lot of things to do. There was a little, oh, there's a huge deer. There's like a central hub with video games. And I'll never forget, there was a stage set up where people would go up and do little acts. I don't know if they did some band stuff or what, but that night there was nobody. And I kept asking my dad, I'm like, can I go up there and do some breakdancing? I was so tempted, but I never did. I chickened out. But that would have been the time to do it. You know, you're a kid, nobody's gonna care. You go up and suck at breakdancing, and who knows, maybe I would have got some friends out of it, you know. But camping friends are always fun, but it's sad because it's temporary, so. And then another phase I think I'm gonna get into is like gardening. Like I wanna try growing these herbs that I bought in a box. It's like a herb growing box kit. And I feel like the second I do that, I'm gonna get addicted to it, you know. Oh, these people are in the backyard with a fire pit. That's pretty sweet. Humans, man, we go back to our primal roots, you know. Like just get people together and somebody's gonna build a fire pit. I'm pretty sure that the smell of fire outdoors at a gathering has a couple of connotations for people. The first one is success, like food, staying warm, just keeping the fire going must have been life or death, you know. Not must have been, it was in certain places. But the smell of a burning fire outdoors could also mean you're getting tortured or burned to death, you know? And I really hope fewer people have that association in their DNA than the other thing, but makes you wonder if that's why we have our phobias, our phobia, because of our past death, if you believe in that. I'm starting to more and more. It's funny when you're young and you refuse to believe anything that's supernatural, like after your child phase, because I think when you're a kid, you believe a lot of stuff. That's a cool car. Then you get older and you go, oh, it's all bullshit. There's no God, just like there's no Santa Claus. There's no life after death. get really cynical because you filled your brain at school, you know. And then that changes eventually for some people. They experience enough crap and death and birth and life, and they go, oh, there's got to be more. Something's powering all this, you know? Even if you're not sure what it is, you become kind of agnostic. But then there's those older people that are steadfast about, I don't believe in shit. Those are, to me, those are very strange people. And I sometimes wonder if they're actually being honest. You know, I have friends that were staunch atheists growing up. And I'm not like preaching religion or anything, but I'm just saying the belief and the metaphysical seems to grow with a lot of people as they get older and they experience more life. Some people say, oh, it's just people trying to get to heaven. It's the old Bill Cosby joke, you know. You're just being nice now because you want to get to heaven. But when I see old people totally denying anything, I just wonder if they're trying to like save face. Like they spent their whole lives preaching against it. That's funny. And then they get older and it's like those old punk rockers that won't let go, you know. Even though now they're following everything the authorities say to do. Now, yeah, but I'm still punk rock. It's like, I don't know, dude. I don't know if you've ever been punk rock. Just admit it. You're a total dork, just like everybody else. No, I'm punk rock, dude. Now get in line. Follow the orders. So when I see older people, oh, there's nothing else. This is it. You're silly for believing in anything. It's like, okay. Cool story, bro. But maybe they're right. I don't know. Okay, I love this time of night. It's like, should I use my headlight? I think it'll screw up the camera, so I'll just leave it off as long as possible. Kid totally wiped out. I didn't see it though, so I'll have to watch the playback. I think my camera causes people to wipe out. So I wasn't gonna do a recording tonight because I did one last night, and then the night before I did the Mall of America. Oh, somebody left their sweater, their hoodie. So I'm like, oh, I'm just overdoing it, you know, like I do everything. But if you look at the forecast here in Minnesota, the next, not tomorrow, but after that, the next 5 or 6 days are all rainy. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna record every day, but I am gonna buy, if they are available, I don't know if this even exists, a handlebar umbrella. Now that might seem stupid because if I'm going this fast, even 11 miles an hour, it's just gonna be whipping, you know? But if they have a certain design, if it's angled right, I could probably go slow and still keep dry and keep the camera pretty dry while I scoot. I did buy some CarX, by the way. I think that's what it's called. No, Rain-X. CarX is something else. And you're supposed to put that on the lens, and it's supposed to keep the water from screwing up the camera view, so. We're gonna just try whatever works, and if that doesn't work, you know what? I'll buy a frickin' umbrella and I'll walk and talk. There's nothing that says I can't do that. The more I think about the umbrella on the handlebars, the more I start laughing now because I think how silly that is, but still. That's how my brain works. There's the giant cock. There, I just came out and said it. All right. Today we are RV RV hunting. Would be sweet though to have a RV that's pretty sleek and had air conditioning and all the amenities, because I'm a big wuss. But I think I could rough it if I had to for a couple days. It's funny because, oh, look at this one. This little tiny RV. That would be almost perfect. It's so boxy. It's only big enough to like sleep in, you know. But almost every girlfriend I've had though said that they like the idea of camping. Not all of them, but the ones that did. But then the second they get out there, they hate it. So I just started dating girls that hated camping, and it worked out way better. In fact, I bought one of them, I think it was a purse or something that said, "I love not camping." Or it was a lady with a purse on the shirt or something. I forgot what it was, but. Oh, look at that thing. That Transcend one, that's sweet. How much do you think that is? Like 30 grand maybe? You could plug it in. Hell yeah. How about a fully electric RV? No gas, so you can't start a fire, start anything ablaze. And you plug it in overnight, and for the next 3 days you've got a gauge that tells you how much electricity you have left. I wonder if that would be a doable thing. I have nothing against using gas, but I'm so used to an electric scooter that I think in those terms now, you know. Of course, when the rubber hits the road, pardon the pun, it's the most reliable source of energy is to whip it out the gas can, you know. I bought this generator. It's pretty legit. It's got 4 huge cells on it. And it's made by, I think, a company called like Ego or something like that. And you plug it in and it takes like 6 hours to fully charge everything. And then as soon as you unplug it, it starts to deplete slowly. But it would get you through the night. If the electricity went out, you could hook up your phone, you could hook up probably a light. But just enough to get your charger going, which is probably the most important thing. I wouldn't hook up any heaters or anything to it. I found out how fast a simple heater, like a space heater, will deplete battery. It's so freaking fast. Okay, we're heading back to where we came from here. Oh, that's that sweet wood burning smell, like my ex-girlfriend's perfume or whatever the heck she wore. I don't think she even wore perfume. I think it was just the incense that she burned in her room all the time. She was a bit witchy, you know, like in a hot kind of witchy way. Perhaps that should be my goal for this summer, is to try to do an RV thing once. Because I have a Jeep, I could just hook it up to the back, finally utilize some of my Jeep's horsepower and capabilities, you know. Before I had a Jeep, I just drove sedan type cars. I didn't care. But ever since I got the bigger vehicle, I've found use for it. Like the back of it fits 2 Marshall cabinets perfectly. And then I could even fit my amp head in the back, all my guitars, my bags and stuff. And then the front seat's typically free for a guest, but not always. Depends on the show. Sometimes I gotta bring the drums, because our drummer for the Heart Band lives out of town, so. I think I'll visit my dad tomorrow. It's if I don't go to Stillwater. I'm still planning on that possibly, but we'll see. The first thing my friend Corey told me when his dad was passing away, basically, was, yeah, make sure you don't take it for granted that your dad's still alive, you know? And you always kind of know that in the back of your head, but it doesn't really sink in until somebody else's dad passes, or you think about it a lot, you know? We all have certain structures in our lives that we've had our whole life. And if there's another RV right there, Jayco. And when suddenly one of those structures is just gone, it's just like you have to relearn how to live, you know? All right, it's getting so dark now, like in a good way. Still don't need the light, but woo. I'm excited because we did that video with the Black Mountain Jam, it was called, because this pedal company called Black Mountain asked me to do a demo for one of their pedals. And the song turned out so cool, a lot of people loved it, that I thought, you know, I should probably add to it and just make it a real song, you know? Just some vocals and structure, maybe one more riff. So I did that just before I started scooting tonight. And it's got sort of this Chris Cornell vibe. Because I'm like, with this sort of music, you could go a couple different ways, you know? You could go Aussie. Okay, I better use the light now. Oh, it's so weak. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think that does much, but... Is that a deer up there? So you could go Aussie, because you could go like the Sabbath route. You could go totally doom metal if you want to, or you could go like Chris Cornell. Let's see what this deer's up to. Wow, like, let me get really close. Sometimes if I don't talk or wave, it just sits there, stares at the light, you know. All right. So we'll see how that comes together. That should be a lot of fun. I love putting together songs because sometimes it just flows, you know. And I love the idea that something exists now that didn't used to exist. I think Prince said something like that too. It's sort of like your potential as a human being. It's part of it is that you could create something that wasn't tangible before. So for example, with these apps, lately I've been app crazy, been vibe coding as I call it. But I have 12, and today I looked at my tuner and went, hey, I just want it to be a different color. I want it to be 80s red, like the old boom boxes they used to have, that everybody's sister had in the shower, you know, in the bathroom. And I want the display where it says the name of the note to be like pink, like neon pink, like the 80s when it's off, and neon blue, like the 80s when it's on perfectly. And so I vibe coded that together. Took about an hour and a half, I think, to get it perfect. And now it exists. And the other night was super, like, what do they call it? Like a meta moment. Because I was at home and I couldn't find my snark, and I'm like, oh yeah, duh, I made my own tuner. So I punched it up and used it, and I'm like, wow, I just used my own tuner. It's so wild. So we got to be a little bit careful here because we have that closure. So I think I'm going to go this way. The trail closure has kind of been screwing me up, but it's also been forcing me out of my comfort zone, which is always a good thing. Just like recording, just like vlogging, it's gotten me out of my comfort zone because I just thought about it. And right now I'd be listening to Phil Collins, I bet. Some of his tunes, even with Genesis, are super depressing, but other ones are so uplifting. So you could play, Land of Confusion and get all pumped up. And then you could play In Too Deep. Hey. And In Too Deep has just got this sadness to it. Another Day in Paradise. The nets are bad today. At least it's not like that one scoot where I couldn't talk because I was coughing every time I opened my mouth because a stupid gnat went down my throat, basically. I'm gonna have to learn how to talk with my lips pushed together. That's a really nice fence. I never really see it during the day from this angle, so I didn't notice it looks like the gates of hell. It's pretty cool. Another idea I've had, because now this will be the 36th episode, is maybe for the 40th one, I'll put together the best moments of all 36 or 40, 39 or whatever. Because there's a lot of moments where they get lost in the hour and a half video. So if I could just do the best of, I think it could be an exciting 30 seconds. Because every time you do a scoot, something happens, The trouble is, though, I'm going to have to go through every single video and try to remember the best parts and find them, I'm excited because tonight I'm actually going to start a video that's very timely, by the way. It coincides with an anniversary of a particular album release. And I'm going to watch the rest of The Sandlot, which I've never seen before. And everybody who watches it says it's like an incredible piece of history. Like, it legit feels like they captured time in a movie. And I'm watching it and I'm like, yeah, this really makes you kind of want to go back to those days. Even though they're more like my dad's childhood days, but they looked pretty simple, And it centers around baseball, and I've only watched the first half, but in a way it's more like just like Stand By Me, with the camaraderie of your friends and how crazy they are. And how it's hard to get in the group at first. Like, they ostracize you, and they, obviously there's a bit of a hazing period. But once you're in, Oh, look at how cool that looks. Speaking of Stand By Me. Wow. I don't know why, but lately I've just been awestruck by certain things, certain views. My grandma used to be a photographer. It was just her birthday the other day, actually, too. I'm very fortunate to be my age and have a grandma that's still around. And she had a whole dark room in her basement. So her and my grandpa, my step-grandpa, would take pictures with legit cameras, SLR cameras. And then they would develop pictures in their developing room. I just remember the red light. It's like, why is there a red light? Well, it's the only light that won't screw up the paper, you know? So I think a lot of my eye for photos and videos and everything come from her. This rabbit is just asking to race. Okay, I beat him. Speaking of the Sandlot, that's all I can think of now when I see these baseball fields. I won't spoil the movie, but if you've seen it, you know that one kid's so cool. You know, I think his name's Benny. He's like the one friend that is kind of the leader friend, but he seems older and he's just laid back and cool and accepting and talented. It's like everybody needs a Benny in their life. But I haven't watched the rest of the movie, so maybe he turns into a dick. I don't know. But okay, before the sun settles, let's do kind of a quick little side quest, and then we'll head back. I'm telling you guys, one of these days I'm going to be going to Lilliput. Park the old scooter, rock a little mini golf, maybe some bumper boats. Totally bore you guys with the footage, of course. And I'm hoping before the end of the summer they allow people to go up the bridge that they worked so hard to put up. Although the first time they tried to put it up, they didn't factor in the height of the truck, and they ended up bashing it underneath this other bridge, ironically, and they broke it. I wonder how those engineers felt. So they brought it back, and I guess they fixed it. Okay, I don't know why I want to do this so bad, but screw it. Okay, what are these signs all about? Just your random turn lane sign right in the middle of the sidewalk. All right, I'm only doing this, you guys, because of the rain that's coming, and I most likely won't be able to scoot. Ah, big moth just hit my hand. All right, we're gonna take this kind of fast, faster than usual. I have this fear that somebody with a bat's just gonna swing it at me as I go through. Whew. Boy, that's thrilling. I don't want to speak too soon, but I've been pretty lucky this year with the wood tick situation going on in the world. I don't know what's happening, but so far, no ticks, no Lyme disease. Of course, I don't exactly go out into the woods, but I'm always outdoors now on a scooter. I don't think wood ticks could keep up with my scooter. Woo. You know, I should honestly go like 15 miles an hour all the time. This is kind of fun. Another moth just hit me. Okay, that'll make me slow down. That's the one thing about going fast is you can't dodge June bugs or moths. Gosh, ever since I said Phil Collins, In Too Deep, it's all I have stuck in my head. I was going to ask people if they have the same affliction where they always have a song in their head, like every second of the day, from the second you wake up to the moment you go to bed. Just music. There's the old house. So I'm a creature of habit, as you guys could tell by now. But I'm okay with that. I like the fact that I can look at the same thing almost every day and get more and more out of it. Glean a different memory, you know? Like, oh, I remember the time my babysitter stepped on a nail in the garage. I almost forgot about that. I told the story here already, but she stepped on a board that, I don't know who left it in the damn garage, but it was a board with a nail sticking up. She stepped right on it. She had me hold it while she screamed for her mother. We didn't have cell phones back then. And her mom was like, somebody ran and got her. And then I thought I would just be merciful, and I ripped it out as fast as possible. I thought, hey, it's like a Band-Aid, right? She did not appreciate that, but oh my God, I can't imagine the feeling of a nail in your foot, like 2 inches deep, and asking somebody else to hold it steady, and then having them just rip it out as fast as possible. Holy. And by the way, she lived right here. But she was at our house babysitting, so I think that was the end of her babysitting days with us. Not 100% sure, but okay. I was gonna take a left, but I'm like, nah, let's head back. The thought of more June bugs or whatever kind of freaked me out. Yeah, it won't be long before I'm scooting and you hear fireworks. Sometimes when I see people, like a happy couple, walking their dog and going into their house or whatever, I start to wonder, like, was I supposed to go down that road? Like, was I supposed to be the dude who wears like cargo shorts and slippers or flip-flops and a hat and I'm walking with my wife. It's hard for me to picture that. I think I was born to scoot. Okay. Sorry, the camera sort of tipped upward there. Not as bad as it was that one time though, so. Yeah, I honestly feel like if I found out I had 3 hours to live, I would probably go for a ride. I'd do one final round. That's how much I like it. Another really cool part of scooting at this hour is you start to see the trees silhouetting on top of the, in front of the sky. And last time it actually made for a really cool thumbnail. But tonight the sky is mostly blue. There's not a lot of red in it like that time. But all right, let's take the road for this. Kick it up a notch. There we go. I tip my hat down so that the rim, or whatever it's called, shielded me from June bugs. I wonder if they make like hats with a little like windshield that comes down. Maybe I'll invent that. It's probably gonna look like a welder's mask. It'd be really inconvenient, but you get home and you wipe off the bug juice, you know? Ah. All right, guys, that was a really great scoot. Sets me up to go home and do my routines. Got to do my 10-minute yoga thing. 10-minute meditation. Head back to the studio. Before I go though, let's do the thing we always do right here. We try to gun it as fast as possible. All right, got to 27. Not quite 28, that's top speed for this scooter, but damn, that was fun. Okay, everyone, we'll catch you later.